the Spokane Junior Chiefs, starting on number 7, number 10, Ace McNisley. Number 11, Xavier Seaver. Number 14, Parker Johnson. Number 15, Colton Rue. Number 16, Roger Matthew. Number 18, Braden Piani. Number 20, Braden Westbrook. Number 24, Ryan Helton. Number 27, Logan Noel. Number 28, Jacob Brown. Number 71, Cooper Kyle. Number 81, Milo Hanneman. Number 86, Evan Osmond. Number 87, Aiden Day. Number 91, Jensen Gates. And your goalies, number 96, Treason Fields. Number 33, Aiden Brinkley. If they will please rise.
Friends and family, welcome to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. Friends and family, welcome to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. Friends and family, welcome to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center. Friends and family, welcome to the Eastern Washington University Recreation. What's going on there? Maybe it's that one. I think I might have fixed it there. Let's try this again. Welcome, friends and family, to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for this U16 Tier 2 PNAHA Championship game. My name is Tyler Pisani, joined by Eastern Washington's own Keegan Clark. Keegan, you've been here all weekend. You've watched these games. What can we expect from these two teams in front of what is a raucous home crowd here for the Spokane Chiefs?
I think we expect a very physical game as right off the bat, hit throwing. And I think we're expecting a really good one. These two teams battled in the first game, and it came to a one-goal score.
These two teams been battling it out all year, not just all weekend, for a chance at this championship spot. Congratulations to the U18 Tri-City Americans who just knocked off the Snow King Junior Thunderbirds in our earlier game to win the U18 Tier 2 championship. And shout out to the Spokane Chiefs U14 Tier 2 team. They're taking on the Snow King Junior Thunderbirds at Eagles across town here in about 12 minutes. But these two teams battling all weekend. Keegan, who do we need to keep an eye on?
I think you need to look at this line right here. This Johnson, McLesley, and what was Westbrook before he took a change. They've been dominating all weekend.
Well, you mentioned Westbrook. He's got 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 total points. Third leading scorer of the tournament so far. 2 of the top 3 are from Spokane, including Matharu and Aiden Day as well. But Spokane's been pretty dominant here in Cheney this weekend. Big high scores, and haven't really let anybody hang around with them other than this Mets team.
Yeah, and part of that is that they start quick. They've scored very quickly in all their games, and I think if you're Seattle, you just got to try to prevent that.
And it's the Seattle Junior Mets in the red, white, and blue uniforms moving from right to left across your screen. Spokane in the home whites as the top team coming into this championship game. Big hit here in neutral ice. You talked about that. These two teams have been physical all weekend. We'll see how that plays into their game here in this final matchup at the URC this season.
This first goal is going to be very big for either team. I think nobody really wants to make the first mistake, and there's going to be a little bit of a feeling out process before they get to that.
Well, we've seen that so far, a bit scattered in this first 2 minutes, back and forth through the neutral zone. Nobody really maintaining possession. As you said, just kind of feeling him out, and a huge hit at center ice on Brown. So I think that was Ostrander that laid that hit for Seattle. Trying to set that tone early. Brown lost it at his feet, and now 1-on-0 opportunity here for Seattle. And what a glove save by Aiden Brinkley for Spokane. Keeping this one level at 0, but there it was. That quick opportunity early in this one that really could have set that tone.
Yeah, and Brinkley came up huge with that glove. You know, he's a big guy in net. He's only 15 years old in the 16U division, and he's got a lot of talent.
I think that says a lot when you have a netminder on the younger side of that age spectrum that's not only able to keep up with these guys, but has become really your number one at 15 years old. Seha's become kind of a hotbed for netminders here over the last few years. There's a 12U netminder that's got to be 6 feet already in the organization that we expect some big things from.
I wish I was that lucky on size.
Right? Sieber sends it in over to the far side. And we'll have our first penalty coming. And it'll be on Spokane. And after that big hit, they're going to call Johnson for a slash. I thought maybe a boarding. But slash for the incident down in the corner. Spokane going to head to the box for the first time and give Seattle their first opportunity on the power play. as Parker Johnson, 2 minutes for a slash.
Yeah, they got the initial penalty on that one. He did slash his stick out of his hands, and then, like you said, I thought they were going to end up calling the boarding on that one, but obviously it was just a delay in the arm, and got Johnson for a slash.
And we'll see this big, long clear. For those unfamiliar with the PNAHA rule set, there is an automatic icing. So players don't have to go down, don't have to chase it. But that icing is also automatic on the penalty kill, which I think is a little bit different than what you see maybe in some other areas. It's USA hockey rule. But being this close to the border, we typically get some Canadian teams that come down here a little bit confused about that rule.
Yeah.
Eaton has it. He's going to feed it across the blue line. That one surprised the Spokane netminder, Brinkley, but able to get his leg pad there at just the last moment as it kind of dropped out of the sky.
Yeah, and I think that helps being a bigger goaltender. He was able to cover more of the net and was able to get that leg out. Maybe a smaller goaltender doesn't get there.
And knocked down is Brown, and that'll be an icing again, the clearance on the penalty kill. Good news, at this level, they can still change on the icing. So it does give you, there is some benefits to kicking it down there.
Yeah, it still kills time. You get the change and you get off. That is a rule that they are changing, I've heard, for next year.
From 15U up, I believe, or 14U up for USA Hockey. Battle for the puck in the Zamboni corner. Two Mets and one Chief. Chief down on the ice. Mets back with the puck. Shot taken from the far point. I believe that was Ostrander. These blue numbers on the red sleeves. A little hard to read from up here.
And they're quite low.
They are
quite low. They're near the glove cuff. And it's a little hard.
Back to the defense, near side now. Fed down the wall, cycling the puck on the power play. Good feed back behind the net. And now here comes Spokane the other direction. That's Westbrook across the blue line. He's got a man in the center. He's going to rim it around, try and get it all the way back up to the near point. But McLesley with that forecheck pressure, not giving it up. He's going to chase Stepanuk back out into neutral ice. Sieber chops it down in. And we'll have another stoppage. 20 seconds left on that minor penalty to Parker Johnson. So far, Spokane doing a good job of preventing the shots on the power play. But Seattle's still in control of the puck for the most part here over the last minute 40. And Knowles chops that one in. It's Carlson that gains the blue line, brings it along the near side wall, and now a dump down the ice. Good defensive positioning here by the Mets. This one touched up right at central ice by Shanahan. And it'll be Knowles for Spokane giving chase. Just past Matharu's stick, the leading scorer of the tournament so far. Good takeaway by Day. And then Day is ridden down into the corner. Couldn't get that shot off with any power. Well read by the netminder for Seattle.
Yeah, he came out, challenged Day, and Day had trouble with it.
And Lewis almost had a chance to walk in there, but couldn't hold on to his twig. Lewis not able to hold on to it. Now here comes Spokane. Good pass across, but another good stick by Seattle. And it looks like we'll come back out to center ice for this face-off.
Yeah, great stick by Stepniuk there, and he prevented some of the top scorers in this tournament, a whole line of them, from really getting a chance on that 3-on-1.
This one back to the Spokane defense, off the wall, pushed up ahead. Brown tries to chase it across the blue line, but another turnover, and now here comes Seattle. Moe's giving chase, but a bouncing puck all the way again back to the Seattle defenseman. Touched up at the blue line by Spokane, so having to give chase this time is Seaburn. They're going to say no. Sure looked like a change direction from our perspective, but we'll head on back down to the Seattle end of the ice, glove side of their netminder.
Yeah, I definitely thought it changed direction there. And I'm sure Seattle thought it did too, but go down for ice.
Seattle trying to get it out of their own end. Now a chance for Spokane. Big shot by Johnson, but good kick save.
No Johnson on Johnson action right there.
We're talking about that Oliver Johnson coming into the game 1-1 for the tournament, a .88 goals against average. For my apologies, he's only played one game of this tournament, 1-0. Whipped ahead, and now with some speed for Spokane is McLesley, and he's knocked down as he cuts towards the corner. Both referees with their arms in the air saw that infraction. So now it'll be Spokane's turn on the power play, as heading to the box is Andrew Eaton. 9:21 left of this opening period. Now a chance for Spokane to show what they can do with the man advantage. That's going to be near side shot from right atop that Pack 8 logo by Gabnabin. And a lost puck in the blue paint. Cooper Kyle put that one hard on net, and instead of bouncing back out, it just kind of died right underneath the netminder. It seemed like it confused everybody out there.
Yeah, it seems like he couldn't quite find it, didn't know where it was, hit him almost a little too clean and soft, and stayed right in the net. Referee lost sight of it.
Face-off one again by Spokane. This one from the far point doesn't make it to the net. Day chops it back up top. Now having to give chase is Johnson. Johnson, easy touch pass near side to Kyle. Now back to Day. Day with it along the near wall. Thinking about it, goes back up top now. Johnson over to the far side. Playing it off the wall was Gagnabin. Now back to Johnson. He's going to go down low to Day. Back to Johnson over his stick. Gagnabin with it again. Back to Johnson. He's able to keep it in. Less than a minute left on the power play. Looking for that pass to the back door. Fans here a little impatient. And that one right out front, and what a save by Oliver Johnson to keep this one flat at 0. It's going to be a puzzle for Spokane to beat back there.
Yeah, he stayed strong off that post, pushed off real well, and closed that gap, so that way there was less room for that puck to slide in.
And it worked well. 44 seconds left on the power play. Spokane only one shot so far, or two shots rather, with the man advantage. Knowles floats at the top of the zone. He feeds it near side to Matharu. That's back where the puck goes. Looking for Westbrook up top. Instead, he's going to go back behind the net. Now to Westbrook. Couple of steps in, over across the ice to Knowles. Knowles puts that towards the goal. Again, sticked away. 17 seconds left on the man advantage. Fassbender has it. Tipped wide of the net. This one out into the neutral zone. And even though this penalty is expired, still some tired legs out there for the Mets, as they've just had to chase down the puck for 2 full minutes, kind of in that power play hangover period still. The Mets doing a good job getting it out of their zone. And now Westbrook with it. You got Matheru in the middle. Said he's going to go to the top of the zone. Payette down low, looking for somebody out front. Knowles with it again. Back over to Payette. And they're going to say that one left the zone. And that'll give Seattle time to get some fresh skates out there on the ice. Spokane fans not pleased with that call.
Yeah, but not a lot of objection from Payette, who was holding the puck on that one. So I would like to think that the referee linesman was right on that one.
It's always best to look at the players there, see what their reaction is, because they typically don't have an issue letting the official know on a call like that if they didn't think it was correct.
They know when they know.
Now here comes Johnson across the ice, this time behind McLesley. Finally in behind the net for Seattle. This one out into neutral ice. Johnson tries to send that deep after the pass forward from Pasisi. We'll have another stoppage here. 6:21 left to play. Just over 10 minutes gone in this first period of the second game here in Cheney today. The U16 Tier 2 PNAHA Championships.
And that offsides might just be, come from the Canadian League. Even though it's game 5 on the weekend, you're gonna forget sometimes after, especially after playing so long in these leagues up in Canada.
Well, and that's the part that we were talking about in the U18 game. Is PNAHA is just one of the leagues that these teams play in, as pile up behind the net. This U16 Spokane team, I believe, plays in the Omaha, as you mentioned, up in Canada.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Seattle junior team plays up in Kaha on the west side, up in Vancouver area.
Yep. So both in that BC hockey rule set. And as the parent of a 12U player, I can tell you that when they're switching between the two rule sets, even the players get confused. So you got to give the officials a little bit of a grace period. Well, it could have been a big hit at the blue line. It was Cooper Kyle just bouncing off of a Met, but now he's going to give chase. And knocked off of his skates in the corner. His teammate picks it up, looking for that pass out into the slot to Gates, but Seattle moving the other direction quickly. Now the Mets gain the zone. First time they've been on this side of the ice in a couple of minutes. And they're going to say that one came from a little too deep. So icing is the call. We'll head back down in the shadow of the U.S. Curling banner. U.S. Curling Championships held here at the URC just a few years ago.
Yeah, Carlson was looking for Ostrander there, and Ostrander wasn't quite ready for it and just couldn't get off.
Quick shot off of the face-off. I believe that was Aiden Day. Swallowed up by Oliver Johnson.
They had a great game against Snow King yesterday, 5 goals.
Whoa. It's a heck of a day to then head home and start thinking about the championship game.
5 goals in a season for some people. I would have took just one this year.
They're going to say no icing and sent back around. First one there is Matheru. Pushed up ahead to McLesley. McLesley for Spokane catches it out of the air, tries to shield it with his body, but he's knocked off by Becker. Now some sustained possession for Seattle in the attacking zone. Shot sent straight up into the air by the netminder. Now a chance for numbers for Spokane. 1-2, top shelf goal, just like that. as the netminder saw them crashing in. Boom, boom, bang, back of the net.
And you just can't have that happen in Seattle. That's the last line you want, to have a 3-on-1 against you. They got lucky in the last one. This time, not so much.
Yeah, it looks like it was Aiden Day getting his 7th goal of this tournament. And those are the plays that you draw up in practice in the 3-on-0. And it worked out to perfection for them. And we'll take a look at that replay here at the next stoppage. But Spokane up by 1, 3:40 left in this opening period. Still lots of hockey to play here in Cheney. Odd bounce off of the wall behind the cage. Pokes right back out front. McLesley chasing down into the corner. He was credited with an assist on that one. Now McLesley on the right side. Tries to feed it back out front. Spokane doing a good job of crashing the net, putting bodies just in front of that blue paint. Battle for the puck in the corner. Spokane not afraid to throw their body around in this one, especially after pulling themselves up by 1.
Yeah, you're looking to maintain that momentum, and physicality can be useful.
This one near side to Eaton, and that's going to get sent down. I'll call that offside. But let's take a look back at that last goal here as Spokane builds up out of the zone. Comes across that blue line. Back, forth, back, top shelf. A little choppy there on the broadcast. Our apologies.
It just seems like it was an unfortunate pitch by the Seattle junior defenseman. Just couldn't really decide whether or not he wanted the pinch or not, and probably should have backed out on that one.
It's always tough when you've got those 3 jerseys from the other team staring you down. You got to make that decision. It seems like no matter what you do in those situations, there's always something that you could have done differently, even if you are able to get that stop. This one pushed up ahead. Now across the blue line. Met there dragging his feet. And Fassbender really wanted to finish that check. Now here comes Brown on the right side. Just under 90 seconds left to play in this opening period. Seattle chops it in. They're going to get fresh legs on the ice as Spokane looks to build up from their own end. Lewis for Seattle gets it across the blue line, but then it squirts back towards his own goal. Carlson tries to feed it ahead, lost at the skates of a teammate in the neutral zone. Now looking to bring it up the other side. They're going to say that one was touched up as Knowles tried to pull his stick back. And looking for that breakout pass on the far side. Shot taken by Matharu.
Great stick by Carlson.
Good defense by these Mets getting back. They haven't had quite as much on the offensive opportunities, but their defense has been stout and in position. This one pushed up ahead here to Westbrook. Tries to split the defense with too many red shirts. Back in their own end. Knowles with it. Spokane trying to bring it up ahead. Less than 20 seconds left to play. Stepanuk puts that on net. One more shot before the end of the period. Seattle going to try and get one more. 2 seconds left, but can't control the puck. And that'll do it for the first 17 minutes, first period of this U16 Tier 2 championship for PNAHA. Spokane the home team here leading 1-0 over the visiting Seattle Junior Mets. The goal scored by Aiden Day for Spokane. That first period, Keegan, how's this line up with what you were expecting after watching these two teams all weekend?
It lined up very well with how I expected. Very physical, but Spokane's dominated the play really with their speed. And I think if you're Seattle Junior, you just need to find a way to slow them down. And, both teams very prideful in this game. With the Chip the Nationals on the line, some other teams in their organizations have already booked their tickets. And, it's a big moment for them.
As we said, you mentioned other organizations or other teams within their organization. Tri-City won the U18 Tier 2 championship earlier today, and right now Spokane's U14 team is battling at Eagles Ice Arena across town against Snow King Junior Thunderbirds. So lots of national implications on the line in Spokane today, and these two teams, as you mentioned, battling all weekend. This is what they've been waiting for all season long.
I mean, Seattle's looking for back-to-back. They went here a lot. They came at home last year and beat Snow King in the final to go to Nationals. They're looking to repeat that this year.
And so far, Spokane looking to spoil that party as Westbrook chops that one in. Chasing the puck down low into the corner. Johnson was there first for the Chiefs. Now Westbrook has it. He's got a man in the middle. That's where he tries to go. Can't get the puck there. Westbrook still with it. And McLesley with the late hit on the Junior Met. Gates has McLesley at neutral ice. He touched it up, tried to get it back behind him to Kyle. And that's where he's going to go now to the center to McLesley. Has one man to beat. Decides to wait for help. Tried to get fancy with that backhand pass to Johnson. And that one looks like might have gone up into the netting there. So we'll have a reset. 15:43 left in period 2. As a reminder, we will step away after this period as they come out, scrape the ice, and really set the scene for the final period of 16U Tier 2 hockey in Washington. But still 15 and a half minutes to get through this period first. Spokane trying to bring it up with some speed. That's Day. He's got the lone goal today. It's his 7th of the weekend. Backhand pass ahead again today. He has it taken off of his stick, but just momentarily as they battle in front of the Mets penalty box. Now an absolute bulldozer in Kyle as he was just going to take the whole pile across the blue line with him. Pasisi lets that one bounce off the wall, and we will have an icing with a reset underneath the scoreboard here at the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center, home of the EW Eagles hockey team, M2 ACHA program, one of the premier programs here on the West Coast, a member of the Pac-8 Hockey Conference. For my money, Keegan, I'm sure yours too, the best hockey conference on the West Coast.
Oh, of course.
They held their championship tournament here earlier this season, or earlier last month, I guess. It's March now.
Yeah, it is March. It doesn't feel like it was almost a month ago, but it was.
Busy tournament season here in Cheney at the URC. Face-off won by the Eagles. Payette tried to put that goalward, but it's going to bounce over to the far side where Knowles picks it up and somehow finds the back of the net from distance. And here comes Logan Knowles playing to the home crowd. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay here. As you see it off to the side through traffic. And just like that, Spokane doubling up their lead.
It looks like Johnson just never saw it. And like it was a quick shot from the boards, almost, unexpected from that side off the rim, and beat Johnson clean.
And Payette going to get the assist on that one. Yeah, you said it. He didn't see that one coming. There was a couple of players screening him in front. By the time it got there, it was too late to make a move. Looks like we're going to send a couple of players down on the ice in front of maybe just one player there. Two-handed point. And it looks like for Seattle, it's going to be Garfield the fourth.
Fossbender will sit in the box.
Fossbender for Spokane. Good eyes. And no offense to Gary, but both he and I have bad eyes. That's sometimes trying to figure out who's in the penalty box is an Olympic sport in itself. So they'll keep it 5-on-5 out there.
Something you don't really see in our level of ACHA, those dueling matching penalties staying 5-on-5. Something I've come to like about USA Hockey is those matching twos, so it stays 5-on-5.
It does change the dynamic of the game a bit. 4-on-4, obviously it's still even strength, but now here an opportunity for Westbrook, gets past the defense, forehand looks to slide it in, backhand, and the official gets taken out in the corner.
Spokane wanted a call on that one. It looks like, Westbrook, however, just kind of fell on his own accord.
And we'll see here what this call is. They're going to bring it all the way back down. So
I think it was offsides.
I think so. Maybe an intentional offside here, bringing it all the way back to the Seattle end of the ice. Or yes, the Spokane end of the ice, rather.
If you're Seattle, this is a line that you kind of want to get going. Is Boosby and Linton. They've been good all tournament for them, and so far kind of seem missing here.
Boosby, 2 goals, 5 assists so far this weekend.
Him and his line mate combined for 4 goals against Snow King the other day, and I feel like that's a line that they kind of really want to get going.
And that's a way to set your tournament weekend. You get out there, you establish yourselves. Now a chance for Seattle and a big save by Brinkley.
Seattle has to find that response on this next one. Going down 3-0 would be quite impactful.
Still lots of time left in this period, but you're right, these games, only 3 17-minute periods, and now a chance for Spokane. Looking 5-hole. Goes Blake Zydek.
Yeah, just a bad turnover at the point, and Matharu took advantage. He just took off with his speed and put it right in through the 5-hole.
And just like that, with a man in the box for each team, still 5-on-5, even strength, Spokane able to net their 3rd, courtesy of Blake Zydek. And now a big uphill battle for Seattle. We talked about these big scores for Spokane all weekend. Seattle's going to either have to find a way to match that output or limit it in some way.
Yeah, and I think they have to find a response, in this period, at least one. We can't going down 3-0 with a 17-minute period in the third. It's going to be quite hard.
Well, especially at this level when they have that scrape in between the second and third. Sometimes you go down if they've got that scrape in the middle of the second. You don't have that downtime in between the periods to sit and think about it. But if you're not able to get past that netminder at all in the first two periods, now you're not just thinking we've got to catch up, but you're also thinking, how do we get past this dang guy?
Yeah, and Brinkley's been very, very good this weekend. And he's a hard goaltender to beat.
Well, and really, he's been great all season. 13 starts, 11 wins, 2 losses, a 1.66 goals against average.
That's a kid that, if he continues on this trajectory, won't be here, next year. He's a very, very good player, and I'm sure there's a lot of teams that would love a goaltender like him.
Well, and that's what you start seeing at this level. And Gary and I talked about that at the 18U level. As you start to see the attrition of guys not moving on from hockey, but getting better opportunities and moving into that junior space, which tends to, kind of limit the second year U16 or even the U18, U17 carded teams. High stick into the air. As the puck back down to the other side of the ice, as Ostrander lost his stick about 20 feet into the air on that faceoff and had to chase it down into the corner.
Wrapped the draw and let the stick just wasn't ready for obviously that. And goes flying.
Now we'll have a face-off. Glove side of Aiden Brinkley. And the far linesman going to throw Seattle out of the circle.
And like you said, the top layer of talent really hasn't been shedded off yet here at the U16 level. So you still get a lot of really good players that maybe just haven't had the looks, haven't had the opportunity yet. And a stage like this, stage like Nationals, really can make them, get those opportunities.
Well, I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Is there's these U16 Tier 2 teams, there's these teams across the country, but really those junior scouts are all over the place at Nationals. And if you can get your team there, just put yourself in front of some new eyeballs, some new opportunities might open up for you. But you got to get past this state tournament first. Good opportunity for Seattle there. So it goes by the wayside.
And with the, I don't want to say lack of, but limited opportunities at AAA and, A1 level, it's hard. And so this tier 2 is quite talented for the U16 levels.
It is. And I think we struggle from that. That's more of a philosophical thing in Washington. But just because we've got, there's not quite the talent pool yet. It is growing at the U12, U10, U8 levels with the introduction of the Kraken into the region. So we'll see some of that, some new junior teams popping up, some new even some new BC teams joining the WHL next year, giving some more of that Northwest flavor to the scouting.
Yeah, Penticton and what seems to be Chilliwack as well, joining the WHL next year.
But all of that just brings more of those high-level opportunities for these kids that, maybe there's not enough talent to build Tier 1 AAA team. But now, those extra looks will come to these Tier 2 kids, like you said. Sieber having to chase it back into his own end. And now Eaton tries to feed it over to the far side, but Spokane back in possession. Good touch by Matharu, but can't get it cleanly. Finally knocked off of the puck, but that's just going to go up to Kyle. Kyle to Pasisi. And almost a dangerous bounce. Good block away. And again, Matharu not able to poke that into the near corner. Back to Pasisi. Looking for that cross ice pass over to Sieber.
I had talked to some Spokane families, before the first game versus Seattle. They got off to that hot start, 3-0 in the last one, and it's not they have lost a 3-0 lead to Seattle before earlier this season. So Seattle knows they can do it, and just a matter of can they do it this time.
Well, it's always good to have in the back of your mind, like, hey, we've done this before. This isn't, insurmountable, but it makes it a heck of a lot easier if it's 3-1 at that break than 3-0. But Seattle just can't seem to possess that puck coming out past their blue line.
Spokane's doing a great job just swallowing up the neutral zone. Johnson lost it in his pads yet again.
That one off of the post there looked like almost bounced back into his pads from behind. It's never a fun noise when you hear that clang as a netminder and then everybody's staring at you because you don't know where that went.
Yeah.
Back up to Payette. He holds on to it. He goes across the ice now. McLesley has it. He feeds it back to Johnson, who has it knocked away before it gets to the goal mouth. And another clear. Is this one going to roll towards the goal? They're going to say, no, that's an icing, as Payette catches up to it at just the last moment. Quick look at the stats from before this game for these two teams. And a quick look at their lineup. Chiefs again win the faceoff. Backhand pass out front, and on his backside out there was Stepaniuk, who may have saved that one-timer opportunity for Spokane in the slot. Has got in the way of the puck. I think the officials having a conversation about if he handled it in that blue paint from down low.
And I believe that's what they're doing. They're asking maybe did he cover it, and that'd be an interesting situation. That would give Spokane a penalty shot.
There, let's take a look here and see if there's anything that we can see. I mean, the puck is definitely underneath him there. I'm not sure that we can see anything from our vantage point.
I guess they would have to just find intention on this one. Did he intentionally go down, cover that puck instead of Johnson, or did Johnson get his glove on it?
And let's see.
And they are.
They are going to give Spokane a penalty shot. So a big opportunity here for Oliver Johnson of Seattle to keep this one level at 3. That's a heck of a momentum swing if you're the netminder.
Yeah, it is. And McLesley looks like he'll be the one that takes it.
McLesley circling around in the Spokane zone atop that Pack 8 logo. He's waiting for the whistle. And here comes the whistle. He's going to pick it up on his forehand, cut to the right, backhand towards the center, stick handle. Picked his spot, 5-hole back of the net.
That's a big goal for Spokane. Going up 4-0 just under halfway through in the second period. And it's a big goal for Spokane. And Seattle, you just got to try to get one here.
Let's take a quick look back at that. As we said, McLesley picks it up on his forehand, backhand. He saw something from the slot and just slid it right there, 5-hole. And just like that, Spokane up by 4. If you're Seattle, you're really itching to get that puck down the ice and get to the back of the net. Dummy puck left there and now sent across the neutral zone. Couple of Chiefs with it. And Westbrook knocked across the blue line before the puck there.
Will not be surprised to see Seattle try to muck this game up a little bit and slow down the speed and really get physical. Maybe try to drag Spokane and some stuff they don't want to do.
I think that's really what you've got to do with Spokane at this point. I mean, they've just shown to be so much faster through the neutral zone and getting that puck off of their stick. You've got to use that body to slow them down. And I haven't seen Seattle all weekend, but so far it doesn't seem like that's their game style.
Yeah, I think that's the adjustment they're going to make. And they're a big team. They got a lot of players on that bench, and they got some size. And see if they can, adjust that game quickly on the fly here. They're going to have to, talk about it in the room.
Now Pasisi gets it across, and another one of those USA hockey rules that I wish they would change is the tag up offsides. Automatic offside if your player is in the zone. We'll see reset here at neutral ice.
Well, I think that's something that they are looking at changing, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that it's necessary based on the fact that they, these higher level players, when they get there, they change up the icing anyways and the offside. So I think it not puts them a step behind, but just if they're going to do it anyways, might as well just do it at this level as well.
And I think that's what they were voting on was, again, that U15 kind of cutoff. That seems to be the USA hockey, I guess we'll call it threshold for some of these rule changes, like the tag up offsides. And that one across the crossbar.
Looked like a puck almost froze on it, and it just stayed up in the air and whacked away by a Seattle junior defenseman.
Now in close, looking for that backhand back across. Now Spokane looking to throw the body. If they become the faster and the harder hitting team, Mets are really going to have a hill to climb.
Yeah, and I think that Seattle just needs to respond. And I think that's the word they need is just respond.
They have to respond to Spokane kind of across every facet of the game here.
And I think just the depth of Spokane has really shown in this game. There's three lines that just are hard to play against the entire way.
They had 7 players during the regular season, Spokane did, that averaged more than a point per game. And you mentioned it. That's across 3 full lines.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of been the key from talking to them this season. That's kind of been the key to their success is they're so deep. You could take away that first line and even throw in the body, slow them down a little bit, but the next guys that come out on the ice are just as dangerous.
Yeah, it's all about, okay, we can guard this line, but what do we do about this line? But then what do we do about this line? And even the guys that weren't averaging a point per game, when you're playing with a guy that has a point per game, you're on the ice for a lot of goals. And, then you become overlooked almost as backdoor Westbrook.
Let's take a look at that one again. See them bring it in here. You're right, just waiting on that back door, slid himself right in between 2 of the junior Mets players.
Kind of got caught puck watching, as they would say, and there's going to be a goaltender change here. Breesler will go in net for Johnson.
Graydon Westbrook, his 3rd goal of the tournament. So, and as you said, Brody Bixler in net now for Seattle. Started 3 games, 4-2-2 on the season. They 2.32 goals against average.
I was very interested to see who Seattle went with to start this game. At least they had split earlier this this tournament, and obviously they thought Johnson would be in, and just not through his own fault. It's just an overwhelming attack by Spokane, and maybe trying to wake up the team and changing goaltenders.
Well, and it looks like just based on their stats that this is the first time that they've made a goaltender change in PNAHA play this year. Oliver played 8, started 8, and Brody had played 8, started 8. So now the new backstop there, see if that changes the momentum and the mindset of the Mets. Another big hit by Spokane. The Mets just can't get the puck to bounce right. That's the second or third time where they've had an opportunity. That's going to be a boarding call likely from that big hit in the corner.
And Seattle's got to stay smart here. If this is a 2 and a 10, that's a big player off the ice. They're going to call roughing, actually.
Okay. So Fassbender going to take a timeout here.
I think he kind of got a little lucky on that one. That could have been easily been boarding, and he would have been sitting for 2 and a 10 instead of just the 2. But still a huge opportunity for Seattle. I think pot 1, I know it's a lot, but you still got to have the response. And
well, you got that new netminder in there. There's still over 20 minutes of hockey to be played here, over a full period. Still lots of time, especially if they can find the back of the net here, but it starts with beating that netminder just once. Kyle going to test him from distance as the first save from Aiden Brinkley.
Seattle, body language still seems to be good. They're still not quitting on this game. They know they can at least try to get back in this game. They've given up 5 last time against Spokane. It was a 5-4 game, and
the officials having a conversation here at the top of the zone. And whenever you see officials huddle like that, and it's not necessarily about a specific call, you start to wonder if they're seeing something in the game and changing the way that they're going to be calling it moving forward, either a little tighter or a little looser.
Yeah, as a referee, you really don't have a timeout, so you got to take advantage. Maybe you just, even if it's making up an excuse about something, like just trying to, if you have to
catch your breath a little bit.
Yeah, respond to a coach saying, well, what were you guys talking about? Maybe you just say, oh, we saw something. Even if it's, hey, let's just watch for this.
They're making plans for a Barrel House post game.
Yeah, exactly. After a long weekend, Advise these refs working multiple games this weekend, multiple games in a day. Having long days at the rink.
And this one really, I believe, the last meaningful game to be played in Cheney this season across any league. So good to see that they brought in top-level officials here and that have been consistent all weekend.
Including one of our own, Dom Bezerkis.
Right in front of us here at center ice. Well, and try to get cleared out. Chance from right out front in the slot, but more white than red there again. And again, this one going to roll all the way down the ice. And there's that penalty kill icing. So it'll come back down the ice, but it's still killed. Good 6 seconds off of the clock for Spokane.
Yeah, and if you put enough English on it, or like it did, and just or roll nice and slow and just stop just across the red line or even right before it, and you kill all that time.
Well, especially this deep into the game, there's a lot of snow out there on the ice after basically 20 minutes of actual hockey. Good defense by Spokane on that shot from Eaton. And sneaking it just inside the post are the Mets. 21 seconds left on that power play. I didn't see who it was that let go of that one, but they picked a spot just between the post and the netminder.
Ostrander's going to get it. Brinkley had trouble seeing it the entire way. It might have took a redeflection and kind of sneaked in through that arm and pad hole.
Ostrander finding the chicken wing there and putting Seattle back into this one. I mean, that's what you need. You got to find the first one.
Now you just tried to build off this momentum. Don't let Spokane really get it back. You have it. At least take it into the period.
With 2:23 left, you're right. That's exactly what they've got to do. Just keep your head on you. Don't let Spokane answer to this one. Because if you can take that momentum into the locker room, it might not be a lot, but you were the last team to score before the break. This one cleared out again, and you know that Seattle's going to look for another one here. They are not done in this second period. Still a minute or 130 seconds left. Passissi has it. Passes it up ahead. Now Day puts that one on net and into the leg pads of Brody Bixler.
Seems like he when he went to go play it, it kind of slid under his stick, and luckily he had his Bible all closed up and it was able to stay out of the net. That could have been real dangerous.
That's one of those dangerous pucks you see kind of at the lower levels where the goalie's still learning to use their stick and just directs it right into their 5-hole. But as you mentioned, good job closing that off.
That may be a symptom of being cold right now and not really still getting used to tracking the puck in this game.
That's true. I mean, it's been about an hour since warm-ups, and really he's only faced a couple of shots since then.
Seattle's really had the momentum since that goalie change, and Spokane getting it back now.
Spokane just a little quicker on the jump to get after these pucks. It seems like it takes an extra little half second for Seattle to get their feet moving there, and that's the difference here in the last couple of minutes. With Seattle unable to get it out of their zone. Again, looking for that pass across. But Spokane content just dumping it in. As we approach the final minute in the second period. Seattle looking to test the netminder from distance. Fresh legs on the ice for the Mets.
Westbrook went to throw a hit and stepped me like and missed.
Now Wilson back behind his own net, 37 seconds. Good takeaway here by Spokane. I believe that was Johnson out back that was able to take that puck away. And some big hits as these players finishing their checks. Bouncing puck off of their own players. Spokane battling for it. Now it's going to go near side. And Seattle looks for one more trip down the ice. They're going to look for that chip. It's going to skitter and roll. I think Knowles probably could have gotten to that one and killed off the period, but they'll call it an icing and we'll circle on back down into the Mets' end of the ice. As we said, we'll take a quick break after this period, let them scrape the ice and set the scene for what is looking to be quite the third period of this U16 Tier 2 PNAHA Championship game. And that'll do it for the second period as Spokane going to take a 5-1 lead into the locker room over the Seattle Junior Mets. Goals for Spokane scored by Day, Knowles, Zydak, McLesley, and Westbrook. And the goal for Seattle scored by Ostrander. We're going to step away. We'll be back with the conclusion of the U16 Tier 2 tournament from Cheney, Washington. Friends and family, welcome back to the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center for the final period of PNAHA U16 hockey in Washington State this year. It is the championship third period between the Seattle Junior Mets and the hometown Spokane Junior Chiefs. Spokane taking a 5-1 lead into the intermission, but Seattle knocking on that door. They were able to score late in that period with 2:30 left, and now the final 17 minutes of their season as they look to repeat as PNAHA U16 Tier 2 champions. Spokane here to spoil that party. My name is Tyler Pisani, joined by Eastern Washington's own Keegan Clark. And Keegan, what's the key here for Seattle? They've got to get back into this one quick, right?
They had a great last 3 minutes of that period, and I think they just need to repeat that success, get the puck deep like they are now, get to the front of the net, get shots.
And we'll see if they're able to do that, but here comes Spokane the other direction as McLesley tripped up at the blue line as he spins all the way down towards the crease. See what the actual call is here. And it'll be a trip. Not what you want to do if you are the Seattle Junior Mets, as Andrew Eaton going to take a 2-minute timeout.
In fact, it's quite the opposite of what they wanted.
Pretty much.
And they started off strong in that period so far, but I think a penalty that they'll regret.
The chance here for them shorthanded. So Ostrander, he's got the 1 goal for Seattle so far. He was the one that brought that in. Now Westbrook over to the other side. Chiefs on the power play here. Westbrook tried to feed it out front. Ends up getting the rebound off of some players in the crease and gets it back to him. Now backdoor rebound turned away by the Mets.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Seattle be very, very aggressive on this penalty kill, trying to almost force that mistake and maybe get a break off of it.
Well, you see that forecheck pressure all the way behind the Spokane net by Ostrander. He's looking to carry the team himself almost. The amount of effort that he's putting in, as I say that, he heads on back to the bench halfway through the penalty. This one floats out into the crease. Or I'm sorry, into the slot rather, as Wataru tried to put that on. Now Kyle trying to feed it out front again. Spokane's got a plan here on the power play, just can't find that connection in the slot. Westbrook now on the right side. He's going to take it goal mouth, forehand, backhand, tried to go forehand again. Almost looked like he went, tried to go between the legs there.
He definitely did.
Now Johnson near side.
You're up 4 goals, you can kind of take those risks, you know.
This is true.
You're not going to get reprimanded a little too much there.
And this one's going to float across that end line with 4 seconds left on the Seattle minor penalty. As out of the box will come Andrew Eaton. If Seattle can win this face-off, good chance they'll kill off this penalty. And as much as they hate to kill 2 minutes of the period, all of the momentum is swinging in Seattle's direction here as of late.
Yeah, and it's exactly what they wanted, and they're hoping that momentum can eventually turn into some goals.
Bad bounce for Seattle as it came off the stanchion. Pushed away by the netminder. Puck still in a dangerous area, and a shot from the knees by Pasisi. Bixler watches that one go behind his cage. Penalty over, but we talked about it earlier. Seattle still in a little bit of that penalty kill hangover time. As here they come. Looking to paint that top corner as Shanahan was knocked off of the puck. Chopped
Shanahan
back
did a good
behind
job.
the net.
Took the hit, made a play, and Lewis just shot it right over the net instead of maybe looking for a rebound as he had a guy on the back door.
Brown tried to chase that one in for Spokane. He had it taken off of his stick, but another turnover right at the blue line by Seattle. And they're just desperately chopping that out into the neutral zone, and that'll be an offside call. 13:35 left in this one. Just a quick update on the U14 tournament here, happening at Eagles Ice Arena. It's 3-0 in favor of the Spokane Chiefs. U14 team in Spokane. In the second period over there. Now with some speed, Johnson on the far side. He's going to try and push it right out into the middle. And McLesley was able to corral it, but not enough to get a shot off. Westbrook now over into the corner. He's going to bring it near side. Sieber tried to slow him down, but the puck still going the length of the ice. No icing called. Mets able to keep it in.
And they did a good job there, clogging up the middle of the ice, trying to cut off that pass to the middle.
A good chance right out front again. Just a bit bouncy for the Mets. They've had the puck in these areas, just can't control it with their stick.
And unfortunately, they're cutting off that middle of the ice and putting it deep, but either bad bounces or they have to change. With being in the D zone for so long that they become tired.
Well, what I've noticed about these changes is that Seattle's a little slow to get back to the bench, almost like this physicality from Spokane is actually starting to wear on them late in this game. We'll see how that plays out over the next 12 and a half minutes.
And Spokane still, they're playing confident. They're keeping on the gas the entire way, playing to win, and instead of staying back and maybe keeping calm and holding on for the rest of the period.
Yeah, there is no quit in them. They all want to continue to score goals here over this final dozen minutes. You see that as Matharu picks it up on the far side. He's got a man out front. I believe in Day. He's still got it. Look at that backhand pass across the slot. Knowles has to get rid of it quickly as Most was giving chase. The Mets doing a good job of holding their blue line, not allowing Spokane to carry it in here in the last couple attempts. They're having to dump and chase. Dangerous puck out front.
Yeah, it's like a weird ricochet off the front skate.
And a quick glove by Brinkley as Ostrander looking for his second one.
I think seeing a little bit more frustration from the Mets team here, and just not able to get it in the zone offensively.
And if you're watching behind the play a little bit, they're taking some liberties on some of these hits, maybe getting that second, third shove there at the end of the play. We'll see how that turns into, or how that impacts the play. We see that right out front of the net there as well. Good battle from both teams.
And one of those scenarios where, maybe got penalty, but both would be sitting in the box anyway. So maybe you're more inclined to let it go.
Well, especially with the way this game has been. They haven't been overly dirty hits. They've been fairly clean. And as long as they're not taking too many liberties, you don't want to impact the game too much as the Stripes.
Yeah, you're willing to give a guy a shove, to respond real quick. As long as they're not, either swiping him in the head or, really giving him a slash or a cross-check hard, you're content to just let it stay.
This one right out front. Nothing but red uniforms. So now here come the Mets. They're looking to play that dump and chase game as well. McLesley knew his man would be in the center of the ice, and that's where he goes. Westbrook tried to kind of put that for his own men, ended up in a shot that had to be turned away. Johnson now looking to make a couple of men miss, has to take it into the corner. McLesley out front looking for somebody to backhand, and instead ends up at the pile of two Mets.
You were talking how Mick Leslie knew his guy would be in the middle of the ice. When you're playing with guys for this long, maybe even years at this point, you kind of tend to know where these guys are going to end up
Sixth
standing.
sense.
Yeah.
And Johnson, point blank, and another good save by Brody Bixler. Under 10 to play here in the U16 Tier 2 PNAHA season. And just looking around at the parents here for both teams, you can start to see the nerves. Quickness from Seattle causes a takeaway here. Looking for that out front, deflected before the shot got off. Spokane's not only doing a great job of disrupting those passes, but also disrupting the shots. Seattle hasn't gotten a clean shot off in traffic, maybe this whole period.
Yeah, no, not at all. I think the only one was Ostrander, but that was way out from, to the blue line, and Brinkley was able to see it clean.
It's tough to score on these netminders from 45 feet away like that.
And the higher levels you go, the harder it gets to score on those goaltenders.
And a point-blank goal again for Spokane. This one top of the crease. We'll see this build-up here, and just parking himself right out front was Cooper Kyle. He's been working on that all game long, and finally the puck finds his stick in the slot.
I think that's another time where Seattle just gets caught puck watching, and they've seemed to have done that a couple times this game already, and it's cost them heavily, and they just have to take their guy instead, and now it just seems like it would be a little too late.
8:26 left to play here as Spokane puts themselves up by 5 in the late goings here in Cheney. Passissi now floats that one towards the net. And they are really making Bixler work.
And some frustration on the Seattle bench, it seems, from the coaching staff, not perceiving, maybe some tiredness for quitting at the same time. And I don't think these guys are quitting at all. And they're still going. They're still trying to get these chances.
They're still battling. And again, some puck watching there, as you said, but good positioning by Spokane to get in behind that defense. And it's one thing to know the guy's next to you. It's completely different to be paying enough attention to know that he's lining up for that one-timer and waiting for that shot. And I think that's kind of the difference here for Seattle. They're close enough, or they're close to their guy, but not close enough.
Yeah. You almost need to kind of split them. Keep one guy on, keep eye on the puck, but have your guy, and almost have to read his body language the entire way. If he's sitting there like, I'm going to get the puck, and then you just take him out. You grab his stick, lift his stick, hold it up, and that's about it.
7:52 left to play. Please stick around after the conclusion of this contest. And netminder lost his glove here. We'll see if they're going to call anything. No, they'll just call an equipment stoppage. But stick around after this game as they will be handing out the finalist medals and plaque, as well as, of course, the championship medals, trophy, and banner that you can see hanging in the back of the Spokane penalty box.
And we had talked about it earlier with the U16 level, with how good some of these players still are. We got a penalty on Spokane here.
I think that's interesting call there on the trip. I mean, definitely a penalty. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. It was something, and
there's definitely something there.
Yeah, definitely something there. And I think just Gates had his stick wrapped up in his skates. But yeah, like I was saying, the 16U division is, especially at the Tier 2 level, very, very good players, and it means a lot to these kids when they win the state championship. It's a memory you don't forget. And I've been on the side of winning and losing multiple times, at least on the losing side, one time on the winning side.
Hey, all it takes is a one-time.
Hey, unfortunately, it was 2020, so Nationals got canceled.
Oh,
But
that's tough.
it was a tough one. I like to forget about it. But, it means a lot to these kids. And the trip to Utica, or not Utica, I think it's Wayne, New Jersey. It's a good one.
Yeah, Chipotle USA Hockey National Championships, April 2nd through the 6th in Wayne, New Jersey at the Ice Vault. We've already seen one team punch their ticket today. The U18 Tri-City Junior Americans, as they knocked off the Snow King Junior Thunderbirds.
That Tri-City team is very, very good. They're very, very talented from top to bottom. And much like the Spokane team, they're very overwhelming with their speed, and they just used the advantage of it all weekend.
So 6:50 left on the clock. 1:13 left on the penalty clock for Spokane. As the Mets are going to try and get another one here. Start building up that momentum, but a 2-on-2 opportunity for Spokane. Little Chef Boyardee sauce action through the neutral zone over to McLesley.
That one got way up there. Off the backhand, too.
That's even more impressive.
Yeah. Great job by Seattle to stay on side on that one. Move at the blue line. A lot of times they'll throw you offside, and great job there to hold on by the edge of your skate, basically.
This one back up to the top of the zone, looking for it through traffic. What a rocket. Backdoor rebound off of the wall. And a power play goal for Seattle. That's going to bring this 6-2, and they're going to have to keep up with the pressure.
Yeah, Ostrander is second in the game.
Let's take a look here at the replay. And just that bounce off of the back wall, Ostrander waiting on the far side of the net. He knew what was coming.
And playing here and practicing here, you learn those bounces very, very well. Those hard bounces, they're tough to take as a defenseman and goaltender. You're not quite ready for them.
And almost a quick answer by Spokane.
Seattle looking for some stretch passes here. Try to get that third goal and just keep it going.
And another dive to cover that puck out by Bixler. 5:29 showing on the clock. Ostrander, 2 goals for Seattle so far. The last 2 goals scored, the 2 goals scored for Seattle, but 2 of the last 3 goals of this game scored by the Junior Mets. They've got to change that ratio a bit over the next 4 goals. Bouncing puck in center ice, and I'm going to call that a hand pass. So face-off coming to the dot right in front of us.
Despite the goal by Seattle, Spokane's staying very calm in this one. They know they're up big by 4 with 5 minutes left. Now they're just trying to stay, healthy and stay without getting suspensions.
Now a mishandled puck through the neutral zone on the backside of, I believe, that was Becker. Was waiting for that pass and just came around the backside of him. And if you're a Spokane Chief fan out there listening, the 14U team still up 3-0 over Snow King. As into the zone comes Seattle, and what a defensive stand there. I believe that was by Knowles. And he's going to get a hold, but had he not done that, Seattle would have been able to walk in on his netminder. That was a good professional foul there.
And he was able to not do so much that would be a penalty shot. So it was a great job by him.
Another chance here for Seattle, as Noel's going to take a 2-minute timeout for holding. Mets have done well on the power play today. Maybe not converting on as many as they'd like to, but a great job of cycling up the puck and maintaining possession and trying to send a souvenir to Knowles there in the penalty box.
If you're Seattle, if you want any shot in this game, you have to score on this power play. It's very, very important. Almost a little surprised they even tried pulling the goalie. I know you're down 4, but we've seen it in the NHL a lot recently, where in those must-win games that they're willing to pull the goalie very liberally with how much time's left on the clock and the score.
And we'll see if that happens and they keep that man advantage after this penalty expires, or Seattle's able to score. Eaton gets that one, able to bring it in just barely atop that blue line. A fast bender with it. Makes a couple of men miss and then leaves the puck back behind him. Up to the top of the zone. Shot taken right into the glove of Aiden Brinkley. 56 seconds left on the power play for Seattle. 3:32 left in their PNAHA season.
As the goalie is pulled now. We got to at least try. And I think that's what Seattle's thinking.
Carlson, the trailing defenseman. Pass along the far wall. Trying to get it up to Carlson at the top. And that's going to go down the ice, and that'll be an icing. This is the one time that USA Hockey automatic icing rule really does help the trailing team here, because they don't have to chase that one all the way down the ice, conserve some energy there, but also just let Spokane kind of send it back down every time. This one out front, she can't get a handle on it.
Seems
now
like he
top of the zone.
Hesitated in front, didn't know quite what to do, and was looking for maybe a pass instead. Probably should have just thrown it back behind him and on net.
Seattle looks almost overly cautious without that netminder in there. But they've got a 2-man advantage here. Their best chance to get back into this one. 20 seconds left on that power play. Close angle. Heard it bounce off of the netminder. Down low. Looking across. Tipped through the slot. Back up top. Now over to the far side. Shot taken. Blocker back to the near side. A delayed penalty coming against Spokane, it seems like.
Yeah, there was a cross check right down in front of the net. And
I saw the Seattle player go down.
yeah, he got called for it.
And 2:20 left. Spokane going to send somebody back to the box. A 6-on-4 opportunity again here for Seattle as the clock ticks on down. And it looks like that's Sieber. Spokane wins the faceoff, wisely pinning it against the wall. Now back up top, near side to Wilson. Wilson looks to go across the ice, maybe a step or two in front of his teammate. Now back to Wilson. He's going to look to put it into the mixer. Kicked away by the Chiefs, under 2 to play. Over to the far side now. Into the legs of the Chiefs. Spokane doing a great job protecting their netminder, not even letting that puck get to him. Now Wilson again, this time through traffic. That one does make it to the goaltender. Catches a stick and a mask, it looked like. Brinkley hugging that post, now down low. Looking to go back up top. 1.5 minutes left. This one knocked away. Seattle maintaining possession, bouncing puck out front. This one chopped up over the top of the cage. And you can hear the excitement building for the Chiefs on their bench. 70 seconds left to play. Seattle near side. Wilson going to take it off of the wall. Trying to feed it out front. Now a shot from the near side. Loose puck at the top of the crease. Spokane player down on top of it, trying to stay out of the blue paint there. 30 seconds left on the power play. Seattle, another rocket. Can't get it past Brinkley, and now here come the Chiefs. Quick turn away. Now shot taken, high bouncing as it was slapped next to the cage. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Still nobody in net for Seattle. Point blank shot lifted just up over the top of the cage. Eaton going to try and get one more for Seattle. And what an effort by the Seattle Junior Mets here, Keegan. As that one is going to make it into the net. 9.5 seconds, empty net goal, but a huge hit down here in the corner that went uncalled.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that wasn't called for boarding late. That was
a big hit, and he hit the wall hard.
Yeah, he shook it up. And Seattle's going to go over the referee's kind of motion as, hey, where's the call here?
So the Mets are going to ask about that. Really, it doesn't matter this late in the game. This is not something you want to see at any level. You know, players down on the ice, no matter what team you're a fan of. Big shout out to the Seattle Junior Mets for the season that they've had. They won the championship last year, made it as a finalist this year, but it's going to be Spokane's championship to take home as the Chiefs will head to the Chipotle USA Hockey National Championships in Wayne, New Jersey. The official's going to have a conversation here, see if they'll waive off that last goal and give the penalty to the Chiefs. I wouldn't expect them to, but this group's been really good about huddling and making sure that they've made the right call this weekend.
They're going to waive off the goal.
They're going to waive off that goal. We'll see if they end up sending anybody to the penalty box for this. It looks like they might be.
Yeah, it'll be a check from behind. And that's the right call.
It is.
It was very clearly a check from behind.
Let's see who they call here.
And it was a talk with some of the linesmen that probably helped had maybe a better angle on it, as they suspected the penalty is with 9.5 seconds left.
Looks like it's going to be Sieber. So Seattle going to try and get one more here, close this gap just a little bit. I hate the term moral victory, but if you can get one more here,
you feel a lot better about yourself. Yeah.
And here's one more opportunity. Miscommunication between the Mets, as now this one back out into neutral ice. And congratulations to the Spokane Junior Chiefs, your 2025 PNAHA 16U Tier 2 PNAHA championship or champions. They will be heading to New Jersey the first week of April. And again, an absolutely incredible shout out to the Seattle Junior Mets, who put on quite a show this weekend. Nothing to hang their head about this.
And they didn't quit. All the way down to the last 9.5 seconds. They did not quit the entire way.
I want to give a quick shout out to both of these teams. Just take a look at these lineups.
When Ostrander had an incredible game for Seattle and was firing shots all over the place and just couldn't get that third one, it seemed like.
Well, Keegan, it's been fantastic. It's been fun watching you guys all season. Glad that you got to hang out on the broadcast with us a bit.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
We'll have to do that more, but we'll turn it over here to the PA announcer as soon as the handshake line is done. But it's been a fantastic season for Eastern, a fantastic season for PNAHA. You and Gary sounded great all weekend.
Thank you.
Out here. But we'll turn it over to the medal ceremony here as the Spokane Junior Chiefs able to knock off the defending 16U Tier 2 champions, Seattle Junior Mets, on what is relatively home ice here in Cheney. playing to the hometown crowd here. But for everybody at the Eastern Washington University Recreation Center, for Gary Allen, Keegan Clark, and for everybody at PNAHA, my name's Tyler Pisani. Then good afternoon. Congratulations to the Spokane Junior Chiefs. We'll hand it over.
Also want to thank Spokane Hockey for putting this whole thing on. They did a fantastic job with all the signage and just all the stuff that they gave out to you. You guys got backpacks and everything. Really good job staying off. Eastern Washington University, the facility, I mean, what else can you ask for? Great rink, great locker rooms. Travis Moran, everybody say hey again, Travis. That fellow over there, he's got that. I don't know if this has been a pretty exceptional experience for you guys. I'm going to be honest, we're going to use a lot of that's through that film over there. Also, parents, thank you very much. You guys were very good this weekend. We had one issue, and that was about it. Yeah, you guys were very passionate, cheering loud. There's a kids sitting around with lots of parents up there. Coaching is really great. Good character too, interacting with quite a bit of them, on the bench and whatnot. They are good kids, and that's a reflection of you and your characters. All right, one more. I'm also here, and so again, not the best names, but all has Delcan Shanahan. Owen Becker. Maxwell Whittle. Fedor Stepnow. Ryder Bowles. Brandon Carlson. Charles Garfield. Blake Jadick. Amos Lewis. Stephanie Freeman. Jack Swain. Charles Busby. Noel Wilson. Landon Ostrom. Andrew Eaton. Josh Lewis. Oliver Johnson. Brody Vincent. Hey, great, the captains come up here and get the flag, please. And now, the champion medals for Spokane Youth Hockey. Hudson Pacific. Ace McLesley. Xavier Seaver. Parker Johnson. Colton Drew, who's not here. Rajan Navram. Ray Payette. Braden Westbrook. Ryan Hilton. Logan Knowles. Jacob Brown. Super Kyle. Milo Godwin. Evan Gasper. Aiden Dave. Jensen Bates. Reason Fields. Captains, come on up. We begin. Thank you all. You have a great work.
Want them to face this way. Face this way. hand down just a little bit. Just give them a little more space. That's perfect.